Okay, so now that I have these tasks in here, we can really focus in on this view, the tasks to do view. Remember, we're going to focus primarily on two of these recommended views, tasks to do and task by project. So first in the tasks to do view, we see these all come in under this new tasks bucket. In here, there's actually three other categories. And if I click on this blue tab, I can see that. I have today, upcoming, and later. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Any task that you want to be working on today in your workflow, you'd mark today. Anything that would fill your stack after you have some space free in your current day, you'd put in upcoming. And anything that you don't want to be immediately focusing on, you put in the later area. So now let's go ahead and start organizing these tasks in Caleb's My Task window so that he knows what to work on today. So there's two ways to do this. One, you can click on this blue dot and do it this way. So let's put a couple of these tasks in for today. So for example, this sales meeting task, let's make that today. Let's make this marketing meeting task for Caleb today. Let's get this top 1 to 3 action here for today. And then let's also put this reflection action in for today. Note the other way of moving tasks around in this window is to simply click on it over here and drag it. So again, you can use the blue dot or click over here and drag it. So let's put a couple of things in upcoming. So let's take this miscellaneous marketing task and put it in the upcoming window. Let's take this task for Caleb relative to the sales game in upcoming. And then let's put a couple of things in the later. So this miscellaneous sales task, let's put that in later. And let's throw this in later. And let's put a few more of these in upcoming. Notice that the later menu part of the window is collapsed. If you just click on this down arrow, it'll show those ones. Note this is further hidden here. If I click on this, it'll show that. As mentioned earlier, if you click on any specific task, you can add all these other attributes to it. Due date, break it down into subtasks, tags, attachments, etc., write comments, and another neat feature is anything that's recurring, like a habit or maybe a reflection action. When you go to your due date, you can say you're doing it on Monday, and then click on Set to Repeat. If you hit weekly, it'll bring down this checklist where you can click off which days of the week you're going to do that habit or reflection action on. The cool thing here is that it will automatically show up in your today task list on the day that you have it assigned. We'll get into that a little bit more later. For now, I'm going to delete that out. And I'm also going to take this due date out simply by clicking that remove button. So let's take an overall view now at Caleb's My Task List. You can see that we have 4 major areas in this window. We have today, we have new tasks, and this is whenever either Caleb or someone else on the team assigns a task to Caleb, they'll show up here until they're placed in one of these other areas. We also have upcoming and later. You can collapse any of these by simply clicking on them. so that you can focus on what you have going on today. You can expand them by also clicking on them. Let's also just take a look at how we can see where different tasks are coming from. We've done our best to set up this environment so that when you look at a task, you know exactly where it's from and what it is related to moving forward for the company. So you can see here that we have some tasks assigned from the foundation.com team. If we click here, for example, it brings us right into the sales project and shows us exactly where this task came from. I'll go back into my task list. Again, that happened by me clicking on this label here, okay? If I click here, it won't dump me out of my task window, but rather just show the details of that task. And it shows the progression here. It's in the sales project from the foundation.com workspace, and then the game project that it's from. And there's just a lot of neat features here that you can click and play around with. So we also have some tasks from meetings. If I click on this, it'll bring me into the meeting team and the particular project within the meeting team. I'll go back to my task list. We also have some actions from the weekly alignment sheet. If I click here, it's going to bring me into the game actions team and then Caleb's project within the game actions team to show me exactly where that stems from. So you can see we have a nice way to see where all the different tasks that are in Caleb's task list have come from.